Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back for part 6. I've done it, as you can see. I've cleared off my assembly table and I've done a dry fit. So we're nearly there. We're on the last leg. So I'm gonna, as you can see, the leg I've done here, I've cut off the section for the front board and I've cut off the section at the bottom for the half lap. So I'm just going to show you how I did that with the last leg and have a quick recap of the design. So we're nearly there. We've done the trestles and we're just thinking about the front board and the lower stretcher, which isn't on the design. That's going to be my shelf. We also need to start thinking about material we're going to need for the braces. This has only got one, but I'm going to use 2 again just to give it a bit more heft. The other thing I need to start planning for is flattening the slab. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Well, it's not a mess. It's an old pastry table, so it's got kitchen gunk on it. So we're going to scrape that off and then we'll plane that level. That'll be an outdoor job. I have ordered payday tomorrow. We're all running on fumes. It's bloody 5-week month and all. So I'm going to get a better quality microphone. Because it's autumn outside, it's windy. So I'm going to get a little fuzzy ball on top of it as well. So that's the plan. Right. I'm made a bit of a cock up of it. I'm new to this, so I didn't turn it onto video, I turned it onto photo and pressed play. It took a photo and I carried on talking for 5 minutes. So I'm going to apologise for that. I've already done one cut on the leg. But I'll pretend. We'll see how it goes, eh? So I'm going to spin you back round. I'm going to take this, a little tip with the leg, or any joints that you're making. Present it to the piece where it's going to go and then put a little squiggle in, so just to mark the waist. This is going to have an angle cut on it as well, the opposite angle to that, so I've just drawn a little line to indicate which way I need to cut that. But because I was a plum and I chose photo not camera, I've already cut it. But there we go. Let's turn you back round. I'm also, you're also sitting at this angle today, so you can get a better view of me working at the bench. I'm going to be doing the half lap joint, so I just think it's better if you're from this angle. I know how Paul Sellers feels now. What angle's best for you? Right, let's crack on, So, because I've got it already, I measured down 6 7/8, and I can do this again, I suppose. Lovely little bevel gauges, these Stanley ones. They've got a little handle where you cinch it tight. So I do like these little Veritas dovetail jigs. That's the 1 in 6. So you can set that close to it, push it up, lock it in. They're a bit of a bugger, these little Stanleys. You have to take the handle off and the nut and kind of move it around. There's like 4 settings, and you find the sweet spot, you push it in, it's actually not sticking out and it doesn't get in the way. So measure across, take your line down, and I've made the cut already. So what I've got to do next is rip it down, take that off, and then we'll do the layout for the half lap joint. The big bob. flip and rip. We're coming a little bit away from the line there, so I can just start higher. We're back. The kerf on these teeth is quite wide, so it gives you a lot of ability to steer the cut. It's my first short. Did a short yesterday with the help of my daughter. She watches all these get ready with me videos in the morning. I did a take off of them. Nearly there, dear. There we go. It's a bit tidy up. It's bad actually. So next we're going to do the half lap joint. New face, clear down, chef. Leave me a big brush now. Find it. Batty brush. So as I said with this piece of timber, I'm not 100% sure how straight it is anymore, so I'm just going to check it one more time. Wood moves, it's an organic material. Didn't explain what winding sticks are. They're just two parallel pieces of wood. So they are completely, I made these out of a piece of wood, piece of oak. They're as close as I can humanly get them to being the same thickness all along. So when you put two parallel pieces of wood on something that's parallel, that is square, they're going to stay. You ain't going to see them. If it's on a piece of wood which isn't, they're going to go like that. So you've got to correct it and gradually bring it down until they're... And one of them's got a little indicator. I think that was a bit of birch out of a pallet, I think. And this one's got a slightly darker line along the top, which was mahogany from something, so I just inset them. And a little dot in the middle, so you put them on the centre of the workpiece. That's pretty good actually. I ain't gonna argue with that. Need pencil. Your pigtail. Somebody said it's an F, an old-fashioned F for face, and then just triangle coming off it. I'm just going to check the other face edge for squares. Perfect, but it's just a bit of a mess. It's come straight off the table saw, so I'm just... Come on, Jack. Clean it up. You're guaranteed that anywhere where there's some discrepancy, it's always going to be a knot. It's where the wood's very active and moves more, a lot more. That's it. I'll keep you out, Jack. And while I'm here, I'll just double check this one side. It's quite an important piece of wood because if this is out, it can throw the whole bench out. Again, that's perfect. It just needs a bit of a tidy. Which end of the wood should you start planing? I don't know. I prefer starting at the back end, to be honest. Here's the other end. A well set plane, beautiful, look at that. Good enough for an English one. That's the back. Back face of it's terrible, but it's going to be on the back under a workbench in a shed, so I'm going to lose a lot of sleep over that. They do get sharp. I'm just going to take the arris off. Right then, so half laps. The worst thing you can have with a half lap or any joint really is it's too loose. So I like to sneak up on them. I never measure off and then with a tape measure off one piece and measure off the other. Again, errors can come in. So the best thing to do, Alan Mr. Paul Sellers again. Been a great influence. He's an amazing chap. So we're coming up 4 inches, isn't we? Yeah. I've cut off the section from the face edge, so my new face edge is going to be the back. So let's just double check it again. Workbenches. Yeah, that's good. Workbenches are very big and they can be quite forgiving of things not being 100% square or whatever. But you don't want to create problems for yourself. So even though it's not a piece of furniture, I try to make it as if it is a piece of furniture. Then if anything's going to have been wrong, it's either the floor or, because it's so accurate, I can make a little bit of adjustment here or there. It's not going to be massively out. Yep. Cracking. So this is my new face edge. So I like to use a thicker when I'm doing it this method, a thicker square, so it's got some meat on it. So what I'm going to do is put the piece. I should mark it so you know which way it's the best side. That's going to face leg 1. And that's going to face leg 4. To go by the actual thickness of the wood. So I'm off the square. Move it till I can see me dot where I've marked it with a pencil. There it is. Hold it nice and tight so everything's square. Strike a line, take it off, strike another line. Just guesstimate the depth with a pencil first. So I've just marked the penciled in approximately the depth, and I'll come along with a gauge. So it's a half lap, so we want to find half of this. Trick for you. I wouldn't measure it, just do a lot of it, because we want it to be half of exactly what it is, not guesstimate it. So kind of get it close, eyeball it close. Mark one side, mark the other. Oh, he's actually, that was good, wasn't it? Let's make it a bit more exaggerated for you. Let's do that in. So it's difficult to eyeball the centre of 2 edges that are far apart. So essentially you're moving them closer. by taking the same distance off both edges. I've done it again. I'm just too good at this. Make it a bit daft. So we're coming back in the same distance. So the middle of that is going to be the middle. So it's a lot easier to eyeball it. So you do it from one side, do it from the other, and they should join up. So I'm going to go out a little bit. Do it again. Perfect, and we're there. So that's me depth. I'm going to come in here. Once you get your eye saw in, you can take off a full line, half a line, go right up to the line. So that line is tiny. 32nd or 64th. But once you get practiced. So what I'm going to do is go halfway through the line. I'm going to leave some of the line in. So that will make it slightly tight. And then what I can do is just plane off pieces of the one stroke from each side of the half lap, so I'll get it really snug in there. So we're going to chop this out. That helps to put a few relief cuts in. Just shy of the line. Yum. About halfway up at an angle. Start it off. And I'm quite lucky here, there's no knots in this. Again, one thing you can do when you've got your raw timber lengths, you basically know the height of the bench, so, and you know where roughly where the joinery is going to be, so you can, if you're crafty, you can do it so you have a big fat knot in the middle here, and then the rest of it. So try and always guesstimating it, looking ahead. Down a quarter. do like to just come in one tap. The horizontal. Quite lucky with this pine, it's very even, very straight grain. If you're working with oak, or if you're near a knot, what you have to do is, that is dipping a little bit. So try and read the grain direction, and start at the lowest bit and work up. Oh, you were hiding, weren't you? Naughty. Me saying there's no knot in it. And then on the line, just come in a few taps. Just gives you a shelf. Into your gauge line. You've got several options here now. If you're going to push, it's always easier to get a narrower chisel. Sorted you out. You don't want to take too much off one face because you'll just fold over and break out the back. If you're lucky, it'll break out in exactly the line that you've gauged because you've made a weakness and fracture. Always that lucky. Now we can, again, going uphill. So if it splits off, it's going to split up, not down. Let's dive in a bit there. Now my favourite tool, 71. So I've got a marble. This is the first one I bought. Yes, the Paul sellers are effective. They are expensive second hand now. Everyone's cool on. So he brought his kits out, which I bought. Never got around to making because I had one of these, and then for a Christmas present one day, a few years ago, this beautiful marbles came up, fully boxed. I think I spoke about it in my tool work speciality planes video. So if you want to find out more about my speciality planes, but this has got a shoe on the bottom, so I've lost some depth. So I'm going to go with the 71. Let's get close first. Or close. So I like to put a lot of pressure on this side and then just swing it round. Try not to break out the front. There. I have this set to the right depth already because I've done the other three. Let's do a fit. This is number 4, isn't it? So you can see. So they ain't going in even if I hammer it. We're at 16th That's 30-second off. We'll just take this down. We'll sneak up on it and get a nice tight fit. Go with a jack. Which way is this going? Don't like that in. So it's going to. Ooh. Nearly there. So, take a few swipes off the other side until we get there. Doing 3 at a time. Now, if I hit that, it would go in. But if these bits are very short, they can snap off. So, again, sneaky. It's in this side, but not the back. I was just starting to go in. Doing a bit more. I was checking for square as well. No, that's true. That's good. Getting a lot closer. I'm using this knot here as my reference, I remembered. There we go. So now we can cut off the opposing half lap, and then that should just squeeze in. So taking it out the back anyway. Number back in. Work out this. and the width. Gauge up. That's all that. Stop marking in the waist, so when you're marking out. You can gauge it. Clonk. Close to you, buddy. This ain't such a big rip, so I'll get me medium rip saw. Sometimes you can come in from the opposite side as well. Just really want to get those two joined up. Bit of a higher angle now. Put my foot on it. Maybe that's what all these different shapes are for here, just different ways of holding the saw. I do like that. Right. Tidy up time. Right. down with a chisel. See if she fits. Oh, it fell down there, didn't it? Still a bit too snug. There we go. There you go, 1/2 lap. Just close, there is a little bit of a gap there. I'll just close that up. So there we go. So then it's your grade 1/2 laps on a workbench. It's also important for this design at least that this doesn't stick up too much. You have the front panel, there's a side bearer board on the front of it. So there we go then. Thanks for bearing with me. Right then. So I think I've just got to do a 10.5 lap on the other end of that stretcher. I've cut the work piece out for it anyway, and then cup of tea I think called for, and then we can essentially finish the rest of the dry assembly. Take it apart, give everything a good clean up, take off all the face marks, everything, all the dings, and then I want good gluing surfaces as well. So these bits that have been ripped off here, those need sanding down. I'll try and get a plane in as much as I can, just to get me a really nice gluing surface, and then we can do a glue up. Alright then, our kids, thanks for now. See you in the next one.